So hello everyone, and again this is one of those videos that I'm very apprehensive about making because of the of what my opinions might mean for some people. So I'm wanting to shoot this video to talk about cryptocurrencies because it's one of those things that I'm asked to have an opinion about so often. And it tends to be one of those things where I preface the conversation with I wish I'd bought Bitcoin when it was £1, or when it reached $100. And but I specifically remember when Bitcoin was $100. In fact, when it was $120, I remember thinking, this is a pyramid scheme. It's not going to fly. And then a year later, I think it was $1,000, and I thought, this is madness. This pyramid scheme is nothing but pump and dump. But later on, of course, speaking to people, friends that I know that have invested in Bitcoin, they would offer me an explanation as to the value build proposition of cryptos, and at that point I understood it better. I could see their point of view. But I was always left with a feeling in the back of my mind, or it wasn't a feeling, it was more of an understanding that the one thing that always confused me was the underlying value proposition that cryptos offered, in particular Bitcoin. And I've always understood. Hold on, I've been bitten, and it's itching like crazy. And I've always understood the perspective of cryptos, and in particular Bitcoin, as this thing that's decentralized. There is only 21 million of them, and the way it's been set up, it represents a value that a crypto exchange deems its value. And you can buy and sell, Bitcoin and cryptos, and so the indication is, or you could take the view that cryptos are this commodity or this value that has a representation to currencies at a point in time. But if I'm really honest, I could never really take the view that it had any underlying real value that someone like me would consider tangible. And I would listen to all the business reports, as I normally do, and often official persons would make reference to cryptos as something that was unregulated. It was a new technology, it was understood, and it wasn't money, and it wasn't a replacement for money. And if I'm honest, that's how I saw it. I've always seen it that way, because I understand, or I have an understanding of how money that we call money in this world, I understand how fiat, central bank-based money works. So cryptos presented me with a challenge to understand what they claimed they were. And I always thought to myself, this is going to end in tears. But then at the same time, and in the same conversation, I would always say to people, "Oh my goodness! Imagine if you bought at $1 or $100. You can see the value build proposition. You can see the growth, and you can see the obvious investment that it certainly has been." But today, in June 2020, if you look at the price now, it's about $30,000, and and you know, that's about half of what it has been, and because the world faces some economic correction to a degree at this point in time, and you know, we have signals, and we have interest rates rising, we have signals of more interest rates rising, and we have you know, the fact that Bitcoin in particular has been falling in recent months, and what seems to happen, what appears to be happening in the crypto world, is that whatever Bitcoin does, it impacts all the other cryptos. So if Bitcoin goes up, and generally all other cryptocurrencies go up. When I say cryptocurrencies, you know what I mean. Cryptos go up, and when Bitcoin goes down, cryptos go down. But if you were to take a view, a trend analysis view of, in particular, Bitcoin today, it's very clear that the trend is going down. Bitcoin is losing value, and when it goes up a little bit, then down, and then up a little bit, then down. But over time, the general trend is it's getting lower and lower. That trend will prevail until the market decides that it's reached a support level, and that's where it's as low as it's going to go in a period of time. It attracts people to buy back in, to invest in, and that sends the price up. But for some reason this time, I don't think that is happening, and I can't fully explain why. Or fully understand why. Well, I can more understand why based on my own terms of reference and how I understand cryptos. But I've got this feeling that, this is my own personal feeling, that cryptos are going to go much lower than today, Bitcoin being around $30,000. And But what I was really thinking, or what I really wanted to say, is over the last couple of years in particular, I've had conversations, with friends, and just chit-chatting about cryptos, and I've often said, very playfully, or more of a throwaway statement, that I expect cryptos to end at some point in the future, because I can't see the real fundamental value, that the value that crypto fans and people that have skin in the game often claim is that it has value. It's like digital gold. But I've always thought to myself, but essentially there's nothing behind it. There's no tangible thing. It's built on blockchain. A blockchain is very clever software. It's a very clever thing, but essentially blockchain can be copied. It's just a program that you could copy quite easily, and so this technology is very sort of copyable. What exactly is it doing? How does it really build value in the thing itself, other than it's a function of itself? Once again, someone could come back to me and say, but the market is the thing that determines its value. And yes, I understand that. But if you take a market view, all I can see is this pyramid scheme. And if you look at recent modern history, what happens to pyramid schemes? Eventually, those that got in at the beginning get out, and they get out with the money. And those that got into the pyramid scheme halfway up and to the top, they tend to lose because they hold on thinking it will come back, and unfortunately, beyond their control, the pyramid collapses, and these values they lessen greatly. So I thought it was worth me offering this video, and hey, I might be oh, I've got an itch. A bite. I could be wrong, and in a month's time or 2 months' time, I'm quite happy for someone to send me a message or comments below saying, hey, you got it so wrong. Bitcoin has trebled in value, and you're totally wrong, and I'm more than happy to be wrong. And again, I wish I got into Bitcoin when it was £1 and $100, and and I'd sold when it hit 60,000 last year, I think it was now, and I would have made a killing like lots of other people, would have made a fortune. So yes, but I thought it was worth a video that I think cryptos could be over. In the past, I have predicted their demise. I have simply based on the fact that I personally can't see their value other than what it has been, and that has been more close to how pyramid schemes work. And also, it made me chuckle. I viewed a document that showed the FBI's definition of Bitcoin and cryptos, and the FBI definition, I think it's still this, but is a pyramid scheme. So, why would the FBI have that as a definition, and why would spokespeople and representatives of central banks around the world, I'm referencing United Kingdom and the Federal Reserve in America, why would they claim that cryptos are highly speculative, very, very risky? The implication being perhaps it's not a good thing to touch them unless you really know what you're doing. And and many people have explained why these things aren't really money, once again implying that they are very risky, complicated things that in part are perhaps assets, and but you can't get away from this highly risky element that is language that you attach to a pyramid scheme. Once again, anyway, maybe I'm labouring the point. Once again, I think it's June. It's June 2020. I have a feeling that cryptos, we might be seeing the slowdown of cryptos. I've joked in the past that cryptos don't have a future in their current state, and these high values that they achieve, I think at some point in the future they'll all go to zero, because things change, and the value proposition of them cannot be maintained or reinforced or supported, and that's another, and that brings their value down. Anyway, I know that some people might not like what I'm saying here, and I apologize for that. I hope people don't get burnt if they do go down, and I hope people are rewarded if cryptos go back up, and they sell when they're in profit, and they enjoy the risk that they've taken. So I wish no harm on anyone, but I'm not sure of the viability of cryptos going into the future. Anyway, I hope everyone is well, and no doubt speak soon.